Hey, what's up guys, Andrew here. Today we're taking a look at the custom built ASUS ROG G703GX-PS91K, available exclusively from HIDevolution.com. Now if you guys haven't heard of HIDevolution.com, these guys do amazing work on custom built laptops and more. Be sure to check out HIDevolution.com for much more information. Alright, let's get started with the review. Let's go and break down the specs. You're getting a 17.3-inch Full HD IPS panel running at 144Hz, NVIDIA GeForce GTX RTX 2080 with 8GB of GDDR6, Intel 8th generation Core i9-8950HK, which is a 6-core processor with 12 threads. This next upgrade is pretty big in my opinion. That's the thermal interface materials upgrade. It's a $95 upgrade that improves temperatures dramatically. They basically repaste the CPU and GPU with high quality compounds and put thermal pads on heat sensitive surfaces. 16GB of RAM, a 512GB Intel 760p NVMe SSD, which is pretty fast, and the retail price of this machine is starting at $34.99, so let's see how she performs. This is one big and powerful gaming laptop that features a beautiful design for its size. You also get this beautiful brushed aluminum finish on the lid with the ASUS ROG logo, and this is a big and heavy laptop. Like I said, it comes in around 10.35 pounds and 1.87 inches thick, so roughly 2 inches thick almost. Let's take a look at the ports here on the left side of the laptop. You got your exhaust port for your fan, RJ45 Ethernet, USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3, USB 3, and your headset and microphone inputs. Let's take a look at the right side now. You got your SD card reader, 2 more USB 3s, exhaust port, and your security lock slot. And last but not least, let's take a look at the ports on the back. You got your 2 charging ports for your AC adapters, mini display port 1.3, and a full-size HDMI 2.0 port. Now in terms of expandability and upgrades, you can remove this whole bottom cover, but ASUS does provide a quick access cover to the main components you're likely to upgrade, so let's take a look. Just simply remove this flap, unscrew this Phillips screw, and just lift up. Let's take a look at the main components you're likely to upgrade. Here goes your empty 2.5-inch hard drive bay / caddy, empty M.2 slot, 2 slots for your RAM. Now this laptop can support up to 128GB of RAM, 2 more M.2 slots, one of them is being occupied by the Intel 760p SSD, which has some pretty impressive speeds. Here goes the Crystal Diskmark benchmark test for an Intel 760p. You're getting almost 3,500 megabytes for the read speed and almost 2,000 megabytes for the write speeds. Again, these are pretty impressive. The hinges feel very high quality and sturdy. It just has that great feeling you expect from a high-end laptop from ASUS. Now this laptop features a 17.3-inch Full HD IPS panel running at 144Hz with a 3 millisecond response time. You also have excellent color accuracy, coming in at 100% for the sRGB, 300 nits, and it's anti-glare with G-Sync technology. Now with that being said, I really wish there was a 1440p version or even a higher resolution version like a 2K version in order to fully take advantage of the new RTX GPUs with ray tracing. This keyboard has an excellent layout, however it's not a mechanical keyboard. With that being said, it offers a very good typing experience. The keys feel very engaging and the feedback is great. The key travel is also good and the whole gaming experience is rock solid. On the top of the keyboard, I like these shortcut keys for your volume, microphone, keyboard settings, Xbox, webcam, and your ASUS ROG command center. Each individual key is RGB backlit, so there are a ton of customization options to the ASUS command center. The trackpad on here is rock solid. It's using Windows Precision drivers, so 2-finger scrolling, tracking, and multi-touch is pretty much on target. You also get 2 physical buttons, so that definitely helps out. Overall, it's a good trackpad for this kind of laptop. The speakers on this laptop is pretty solid. They can sound muffled at certain points, however the overall sound quality is top notch. There are 2 2-watt tweeters towards the bottom of the display, and 2 4.5-watt drivers on the bottom front chassis. These speakers will definitely fill up a medium-sized room without a problem. To keep this beast rolling and firing away, you gotta have 2 280-watt AC adapters for this beast to be rolling. Yes, it is kind of a con carrying around 2 of these, but keep in mind this is one powerful gaming laptop that need all of its power flowing. The battery performance is about average on something this size with this kind of horsepower. This features an 8-cell 96 Wh battery pack, and with casual productivity you can expect around 2 hours and 15 minutes with light to medium screen brightness, and while gaming on the battery pack you can get roughly 50 minutes of actual gameplay. It's just very hard to get great battery life with some big gaming laptops like these. The processor on this laptop is the 8th generation Core i9-8950HK. The CPU is a freaking monster. It has 6 cores and 12 threads, and this is the kind of chip that just begs to be pushed. The fan noise levels were good. It was not crazy loud, but with automatic settings you can expect around 55 decibels while blasting away at Battlefield 5. Hey, here's a quick webcam test on the ASUS ROG G703. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now let's get to what you guys have been waiting for, and that's the new NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080. This is one hell of a GPU, but bear in mind it is really expensive right now. The performance gains compared to a GTX 1080 is roughly 10 to 20% on average with most games. But what's really new here is ray tracing, but we are at the very early stages of RTX gaming, and there's just not that many games out there right now to fully take advantage of it. First game we're going to test here is Overwatch, running at 1920 by 1080p on ultra settings, and I'm getting a crazy frame rate of 240 to 265 frames per second. That is insane. Next up is Battlefield 1, running at 1920 by 1080p. I'm getting an average around 130 to 145 frames per second. Overall, this game ran very well with RTX 2080. The only game I got compatible with ray tracing, and that's Battlefield 5, and after the performance update on February 12th, the performance gains for DXR ray tracing was massive, and you also got support for NVIDIA DLSS, which uses machine learning to improve the game performance and graphics performance. The good news here is the frame rate after the update is much better. I'm now getting around 80 to 90 frames per second on ultra settings with the ray tracing set to ultra as well. This was a much needed update from DICE for Battlefield 5. And after turning off ray tracing and just leaving it on default at 1920 by 1080p on ultra settings, I'm getting an average of 130 to 145 frames per second, which is identical to Battlefield 1. Next up is Apex Legends. Here I was getting an average of 130 to 145 frames per second on high settings at 1920 by 1080p. Overall, this game did great as well. Now let's talk about the temperatures. After about 2 hours of non-stop gameplay, the average GPU temperature was around 72 degrees Celsius, and I did get a max of 79 degrees Celsius. These temperatures are still very good. Now for the CPU, the average was fairly good, coming in around 74 to 76 degrees Celsius. However, I did get a couple of max spikes to 91 to 96 degrees Celsius. I also did encounter some thermal throttling as well. However, the average temperatures were good considering how hard I was pushing this machine with Battlefield 5 with ray tracing turned on. Alright guys, let's get to my final thoughts on this laptop. The combination of the Core i9-8950HK and the brand new RTX 2080 is roughly 10 to 20% faster than the GTX 1080 at 1080p gaming. At 1440p or higher, we will definitely see the biggest performance gains on the RTX 2080. Now, is it worth it coming from a GTX 1080? No. If you have a GTX 1080 or even a 1070 laptop, I would not upgrade at this moment due to the cost and early growing pains of ray tracing. However, moving towards the future, I can definitely see where ray tracing can be a game changer. You'll also have stronger CPUs, and higher resolution screens will be standard among all the top-end gaming laptops in order to take advantage of ray tracing, and then it'll start to mature. But for now, last year's 10 series chip still offer incredible performance and value now, since the new RTX chips have kind of pushed those prices down on the older GPUs. I would say if you got the money to play around, then go ahead and get one of these RTX laptops. They are amazing indeed. However, for most people, this laptop over $3,500 will be out of their price range. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching. Peace.